goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So,
good enough for rock.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
and listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar.
Tonight, we will enjoy a vibrant tapestry of dazzling instrumentation and relatable lyrics. The alt-pop rock trio, Koyal.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, and you are listening to Your Next Favorite Band. And we have a great one tonight. Out of L.A., originally founded in the Atlanta area, but based in L.A. now, Koyal. I believe they say like royal, but with a K. And that's a great way to remember it. And then you're going to really love the music, and I can't wait to dig into the stories. This is going to be a great episode. But before we bring them on, wanted to promote two. I was able to, when David and I used to do the show together, I always used to say, David, I saw some live music, which kind of happens all the time, running gag. But I saw some live music. And on Sunday, I was able to check out two shows down in Philly, two release shows. One was the Flying V's. This was all people who have been on the show relatively recently. The Flying V's released their EP in a beautiful space. It was the Philadelphia Ethical Society, which ended up being like a room that felt very noble. It was kind of like a special place. A concert hall. It had a stage and had seats in it, but it just wasn't my typical venue. Awesome space, great acoustics, and they did a wonderful job. And they played obviously the songs off the new EP, and then lots of other fun stuff. They're just such a wonderful band, so definitely check that out. And then the other later that same day, I got news of another kind of release. It was off of like one song. Two prior guests did a collabo. Aaron Fox, who was a very recent guest, collabed with John Kim Fay on a song called Swing and Miss. Great track, and then a really, really fun video. They did kind of like a fun play on the Bad News Bears movie, which is from like the early 80s or something like that. And it was such a fun video. But it was a neat thing. It was this kind of a DIY space, a Philly house show space, called The Dumpster Out Back. It was near Boot and Saddle. And I think Solar Myth was there too, nearby around the corner. But anyway, it was just this neat space that's run by a couple that lives there, and they have, musicians play there relatively regularly. And just a really neat opportunity and experience. Again, sounded great. John went up and played a few songs acoustic. Aaron went up and played a few songs acoustic. There were a couple of surprise guests, and then they played the song Swing and Miss together, and it was just really fun. So check out Aaron's music, John's music, the Flying V's music. Check out the interviews that we did with all of them, and support all of them. That's just some great music coming out of the Philly area from all of them. And a moderate Philly connection here with our guest tonight. But before we get into some music and the interview, let's check in with our sponsor, BetterHelp. Hey, music lovers. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you about our sponsor, BetterHelp. More and more mental health topics of depression, anxiety, addiction, and more are coming up in our interviews with artists and musicians who are brave enough to share them and the music that came out of the journey. Those songs may even help us feel a little bit less alone as we work through the same struggles, but at the end of the day, we need more than just a great song. We need therapy, and that's where BetterHelp can assist. BetterHelp connects you with a therapist who can help you find your path. Instead of being stuck in the endless loop of questioning yourself, you can talk through questions, concerns with someone who's trained to help you find real answers. As you know, our Listen to the Dissonance shows help to create a safe space for vulnerable conversations, but not everywhere can feel that way. Since BetterHelp is accessed via their app, you can explore your options and conduct your sessions in the comfort of your own home or wherever you feel is best for you. After you download the app, you'll get started by filling out a questionnaire and get matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And if that's not feeling right, you can easily switch to a different therapist at any time at no extra cost. They carefully make sure the therapists on the platform are well qualified and their customer support team is there to help you with any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. We at Your Next Favorite Band believe in breaking the stigma around mental health, and going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. And with BetterHelp, it's easier than ever to take that first step towards feeling better. Click the link here or go to betterhelp.com/nextfaveband and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/nextfaveband. It's okay to ask for help. Contact BetterHelp today. So, like I said, you're going to want to definitely check out this music here from Koyal. They're newer to me, which is yet another one where it's just like they're currently in my mix of next fave band or current fave band or whatever you want to call it. But you're going to just get the vibe of this one right off the top. And then we're going to show you all their diverse sounds throughout the show. But this one just rips, and I know you're going to love it. Check out Gasoline by Koyal. LA-based, Koyal is an indie pop rock trio from Atlanta on the rise, composed of lead vocalist Pooja Prabakaran, guitarist-producer Noah Weinstein, and drummer Wallace. Formed in their college basement, the trio's friendship and musical chemistry have propelled them forward, steadily building a loyal fan base and a diverse discography ranging from soft acoustic to main stage disco pop. In 2024, Koyal released 3 new disco and dance-infused singles, Intoxicated, the one we're listening to here, Gasoline, and Lotus Lake, which are off their sophomore studio album, Breathe In, Breathe Out, out now. With their new album out in the world, the trio aims to solidify their place in the rising indie pop rock sphere with the hearts on their sleeves. Bring this back up and put them on the show. Welcome to the show, Pooja, Noah, and Wallace.
Yo, hey, and
we have a special guest with us.
Oh, who's this?
This is Squash. Oh
my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then when I brought you on, you were chatting. Was it with Squash or what? Oh, he likes apricots. Or was it about the video?
It was all of the above.
All of the above.
We were excited for Squash to see the video.
Yeah, he's gonna chill. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to put him in the credits.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much for coming on the show. This is awesome. And
We're so excited to be on. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. This is awesome.
absolutely. And the first thing I wanted to say was like kind of right off the top of the video. Pooja, you come walking through that desert like a badass on a mission, and you're just clearly having so much fun with this, and the vibe of the song is so cool. Like, tell us a little bit about the video, because it's so well shot and super neat, and like just so many different angles and mirrors and all this other kind of stuff. So tell us about that.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun to make the video. Well, the song is about conflict where, there are two people. One person is feeling unheard in an argument, and they're saying, give me your worst. Like, pour me some gasoline, give me your worst.
Sure.
No matter what happens, I've already gone through shit, so it's not going to hurt worse. And they're feeling sad that the other person is just not hearing them. And if they just talked it out, things would be better.
Sure.
And so in the video, we were wondering, how can we relay this? And so we went out to this desert very close to Mojave, and the director wanted us to walk on a treadmill so you can kind of see us moving, but we stay in place. And that's a metaphor for how in this argument, no matter what's going on, you're not moving forward.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
And yeah, it was really sick shooting the video. You guys have...
Yeah,
anything else?
we were gonna bring in all these crazy props and make like a whole thing, but then we're like, then like somebody brought mirrors and we're like, oh wait, this looks super sick, and so we ended up just doing a lot of stuff with the mirrors and all these really cool shots, and then the scenery was just like so stunning by itself. We got so many really unique kind of shots even without a ton of props. It was just it's just insane.
Yeah.
Setting. It's just dry earth for like miles and miles. And it's super barren, so really cool place to go and shoot. We did it all in one day. Like that sunset was happening the same day, so we had to get all the shots like all while it was all like the sun was setting and everything. It was very dramatic, very very fast paced, really fun shoot. Yeah, good time.
And then I love too, like what's going on sonically with like layering was mirrored by, triplifying the images as well. Like it was just really kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun
It's
to post
pretty
to figure
cool.
out like how you can like make these like the sonic players stand out exactly how you said. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure. And then so that track, like you just explained, was about this kind of struggle with a person. And I read like this entire offering, the whole breathe in, breathe out kind of piece is, this is your quote, a meditation on allowing yourself to break free from fear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of the album follows that through line. And so the first song, We're All Right, it's a struggle between yourself and also society, where in the beginning, you're wondering, what are these things that are stopping me from creating? Or what are these things that are stopping me from being myself?
Sure.
And that could be just fear of reaching your own potential, or fear of what other people might think about you if you do something unconventional, or even, I don't know, the song is written about us wanting to do music full time, and
Sure.
our families were on different levels of acceptance.
I'm sure.
And that's a major obstacle too, because you crave the validation of your parents and family and society.
Of course.
And that's a big hurdle to cross.
Yep.
But you just have to go after what you believe in.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so you follow that throughout the album in different ways. Where in Hiatus, it's in the distractions of just the modern world and social media, that you might want to be doing something,
Right.
but your attention is being diverted someplace else. And so you really need to find your own me time and how to rediscover yourself. And then all the way down to the last song, which is Half Alive. And
Yes.
we can talk more about that later too, but it
We
was
definitely will, because we always sprinkle in at least 3 songs, and there's always one here in the beginning, which I usually make like, if you might call it like the gateway song, like the most popular hit, if you will. Then something in the
Yeah.
middle that we can chat about, and then at the end I always save for post credits my favorite song, And that's the one that just has always stuck with me since the first time I heard it. It just kind of grabbed a hold of my ears. It's a
Thank
wonderful
you.
song. So we will definitely get into more of Half Alive later on.
Thank you. But
Yeah.
yeah, that song is about trying to reach your full potential, or how you might feel if you're not living as your true self.
Sure. Awesome. And it's neat too, because the music, again, sonically is very upbeat, very dancey. Most of it is, and it's like it kind of would be easy, I would think, to just have lyrics about softer things or easier things, but to grab a hold of that because it's so true to who you all are and what you're all going through, to have it also be very deeply meaningful from a lyrical standpoint, I think is why this is set on fire for people, because it's like it's connecting with them on what they want to hear, but then also what they want to hear lyrically as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But I think another cool tidbit is Noah, you helped kind of co-produce this album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even so we talked about a slight Philly connection. You're originally from like the suburbs of Philly in the Westmount area.
Yeah.
And this was recorded in the Philly Headroom Studios.
It was, yeah. And my co-producer is Jeff Lucci, who is the bassist in Philly-based band Molauta and the Humble.
Oh,
Really
very
special,
cool.
too.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And then anything else you want to share about the kind of the production of it? Because it's incredible. It's like very well produced. Like when I had, like, obviously to prep and do research, I always do things just kind of like on my phone, on Spotify, driving car, whatever. But then when I'm actually getting ready for an interview, the headphones go on, and then you kind of like get really impressed with the sound. So anything you would want to share about the production?
Oh, thank you. Do you mean of Gasoline or the album itself?
Anything, yeah. Anything about that whole experience.
Yeah. We took so much inspiration from many of our favorite artists, and one that I remember really vividly at the beginning of the process of making this album was thinking about how Tame Impala had this like dance thing in his new projects, but kept this like really fun like psych rock thing happening. So you hear that in Gasoline a lot, where you have this like blaring, rock guitar, and then you have these really pop, upbeat, like dance kind of drums, which was so much fun to create and blend those genres that we absolutely love. And there's so many things I could talk about the production. It was really special being in Philly while we did this.
For sure.
The three of us were staying in my childhood home, and we like you said, we recorded at Dr. Dog's studio, Headroom Studio in Philly, and I've loved Dr. Dog for a long time, so that was really special too. And it was just a really fun time, like getting in. We had our demos done, and we got in and said, well, how can we really take this to the next level? And we were really proud of the demos that we had made, but going into the studio, it was like, what is like, just really searching for like, what is that special sauce that makes us feel really excited about the music, which I think translated later for other folks to be really excited about the music too.
Yeah. No, it's it has a unique sound to it. Like, I think what really makes great music I want to keep going back to is it has like a certain amount of familiarity, so it doesn't sound so foreign, but then all sorts of new and like unique ways of approaching it, so that you're curious and interested in listening to it more. And so that's what I think you're really doing with this, and it sounds great.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wallace, I'll pivot to you, and then we're going to kind of go down a path there. What I want to stay here for a moment on is the drum beat in that song is part of that. It's a very unique, odd point where you're just like, wait, what did he just do? And it's so, and that's true of a lot of your music, where there's this very unique kind of syncopation to the drums. Anything you would want to share there about either Gasoline specifically, or just kind of your approach there to the drumming?
Let me see. I mean, we did it. What was kind of cool is we did a mix of both production and live drums, and we kind of varied it for each song. And so you kind of get this like cool mix sound where it sounds like it has the energy of a live of like a live snare. You still get that punch, but it still has some of the kind of familiar, maybe like not 808 bass sounds, but you kind of have that familiar like kick sound as well. So you kind of have a mix of both.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
And one band we love a lot is called if you know Half Alive, like
Yeah.
they do a lot of that too. And we're trying to always taking notes with how they do their drum production. So
Yeah.
that was some parts we picked from and pulled from
Sure.
like how they do their mixing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One cool thing too, I did about when we were recording at Dr. Doc's studio, we did it all in like it was like a week and a half or like a little over a week, and we did it pretty much in between like right before Noah and I's like last semester at school. So like, we all met at school, and that was like we were feeling all these emotions even harder because we were about to be like, okay, like we know we're gonna move, we don't know where yet, and all these like big life decisions were coming up.
Yep.
And like all this emotion was being kind of pulled in and being really, it felt very present as we were recording the album. So it felt like there was this pressure, like, okay, what are we gonna do? And all the themes like really made that experience like it made it all, like so much easier to give like really authentic performances in the studio.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's some kind of cool context around the time we recorded. It was like January 23, 24 last year. Yeah. January last year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, this is a perfect transition. So we had mentioned it a little bit. You brought it up again there. You all met in college at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And so we're going to come back to this moment in time. So we'll stick a pin in that. And I just love going back to everyone's kind of like origin story. So Wallace, we'll stick with you. Take us back to like just where music kind of started for you. Like where did it, the phrase we always use here is grabs a hold of your ears and doesn't let go.
Yeah. So I did classical piano like since I was a kid up until pretty much I graduated high school. And I started playing drums in high school because I love like it was just so much fun. Like it's so kinesthetic.
Sure.
And like when you put on a song you love and you play drums with it, you feel like so much more attached to the song.
Yeah.
And it's so much more fun. Like I love piano, but I had more fun playing drums, and I was like, I love doing this. And so when I went to college, and I met Pooja, and Pooja was like, "Oh, like I'm starting a band." Like, no way. And they already had a pianist. I was like, "Oh no, I have to play drums, I guess."
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that.
Like,
The reason why I was laughing is as I've done these interviews, the drummer is almost inevitably like they knew they were a drummer from birth. And the bassist is always like, well, I guess I got to be a bassist. So, but it's funny, like you're very clearly a natural drummer in all of that.
Much fun.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And any particular influence, whether it was a band, a song, a mentor, anywhere in there that made you maybe want to do it more as a career?
I'd say, I think there was a moment in college, like second or third year, when we started taking the music more seriously. I think it was a show we played actually that kind of solidified it, just like the love of performance. Because I'd always loved performing, but we had a really remarkable show on a tour we played. It was in Boston, where we were all just locked in, and the crowd. It was this kind of like it was a house show, which can be kind of hit or miss sometimes. But the crowd was so organic, and they were so. Like we talked to them before the show, so we were like warmed up. We met them, and then during the show, you see them in the audience. People you just met, and they're just like so happy to see you and to dance. And it was just this one wonderful human connection that we had. And in that show, that I was like, okay, like there was a few pivotal moments, and that was one of them. Very. It was like, okay, this is like something I'm going to do full time. This is
Boston is a phenomenal town for like just accepting music they've never heard before. I always hear stories like that one. It's really great for that. Yeah. All right, so Noah, how about your? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. How about your kind of origin story from music?
Yeah, so when I was 8, I joined the professional boy choir, the Keystone State Boy Choir, and you might have heard of them if you're from around there. We traveled. It was an insane experience. We traveled the world. I went to endless numbers of countries with them. We sang on Broadway together. And we were doing like major choral works and also some contemporary music. And that was really, I sang with them from 8 to 19 pretty much when I did my last tour in Moscow when I was a freshman in college. And that was unbelievably formative for me. Just being like understanding what it feels like to grow with people and be making music with them constantly and being able to just do that so seamlessly is just unreal, like completely unreal. So that was a lot of my experience. And then in middle school, I started producing. I started making beats. High school, I got more serious with it. And by the time I was in college, I was really excited when I met these guys to just figure out how I could take that production more seriously and just kind of do it on a bigger scale, more than just me in my bedroom.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
again, there's so many stories like that where it's like somebody just is so inspired and so passionate about it. But until they had a platform to put it out in the world, it was just in their bedroom. And then suddenly
Totally.
they have a place to just play it for other people who like it. And then you're like, oh, wait, you
Yeah.
like it? I'll do more.
Mhm.
It's really cool. And any
Yeah.
moment for you or person along the way that kind of had you kind of steered in that direction?
Yeah, I've been so lucky to have so many mentors and folks who are really supportive. I would say my old choir director, Steve Fisher, uh, the amount of wisdom that he poured into us over the 10 years that I was in the Keystone State Boy Choir was immense, to say the least. And it still helps me and us today when we're in a rehearsal. And I think of one of those things that Fisher had said. It comes back to me all the time, every day. And it's always the perfect amount of information. It is so useful every time. And it's really special to have had that voice. To have had that voice in my life for so long.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. And Pooja, I saved you for last since you're kind of like the the inspiration that brought this all together, and the power vocals and everything. So let's take a dive back into because from what I understand, you were born and raised in California first.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Then kind of
lived
moved to
here-
India, moved back, and all that good stuff. So take us through that journey and then where kind of music plays a role through that whole time.
Yeah. So born here in California, I grew up during that time period listening to Indian music. I remember going to swim classes and my parents were playing A.R. Rahman in the car.
Yeah.
And Indian music has these gorgeous melodies. So
Sure.
I think that was really special locking into when I was so young. And I also did Indian classical music lessons when I was like 5 to 7. So it was such a long time ago, but that was my foundation. And then I moved to India for 3 years and then moved to Georgia.
Which is
I didn't
practically the
have-
same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's hot and humid. It's
Yeah.
green.
Yeah. And so what age range was that when you were like over in India and then coming back?
I was in India 3rd grade through 5th grade.
Got it.
And which was a major culture shock moving there.
That's what I was going to
and
ask.
then-
Like, there's got to be, those are such formative years. And again, culturally, societally, they're so different that's got to be like very, like almost confusing for a child.
Yeah. I was thinking of when I was in 3rd grade, and in the US you wear shorts and skirts and you don't
Right.
think about it at all. And then I went to India, and the first day in I put on my little skirt, and my mom was like, "You probably don't want to do that," when she'd never told me that before in the US.
Sure.
And I was like, "You're gonna tell me not to wear a skirt now?" And she was like, "Well, I warned you." And then she lets me go outside, and there are tons of kids playing on the street, which is awesome. There's so much community in India
Sure.
that you just like naturally become part of, and so easily. But so I went outside to play, and I noticed that everyone just seemed really quiet, and everyone was staring at me, and I felt very uncomfortable. And I walked back inside, and I was like, "I'm not wearing my short skirt anymore." Like, get me my conservative clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was little things like that. But I also had a great time in India. It was a really special moment when all of my extended family lived on the same street. They don't anymore, but everything just aligned, and
Sure.
I was able to go to my grandma's house without calling, just like walk over after school, or my aunt's house, or another extended uncle or aunt's house, and then just chill with them for the rest of the day. And they'd give me food, they'd let me watch TV. It was a great time. But yeah, so that was India. And then I moved back to Georgia, and I lived in Georgia for probably the longest period of my life.
Sure.
So I do feel like a proper Southern gal.
And then is music there the whole time, or is it more when you come back? Like, where did it start coming into play where you were going to be a singer and a performer?
Yeah, so to me, I think my music actually started with a love for words.
Sure.
I was writing poetry from as long as I can remember. And in college, one of my best friends, who was one of our first pianists, he said, "Why don't you try singing one of your poems?" And that turned into a song, and I realized that I really loved songwriting.
Yeah.
And
Is that
it went from
Sultan,
there.
or is that someone else?
Yeah, it was Sultan. Yeah,
Okay.
shout out
So
to
I want you to
Sultan.
tell this story because I think this is the wildest thing. You knew each other in like earlier in your life, lost touch,
Yeah.
but then happened to go to the same college.
Yeah, it was
That has got to be
crazy
the
where-
wildest moment ever.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like a movie where in college I went to the cafeteria, had gotten my plate full of food, and I look across the room and there he is. And, I like drop my plate. Oh, well, not really. I put it aside, but I drop my plate and I run.
But in the
and I
movie
give him a
version,
big
you would
hug.
drop the plate. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and we instantly clicked, and he's still one of my best friends. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And then I think this happens before the band comes together. So correct me if I'm wrong, but where COVID starts before all of that happens, right?
Yes.
'Cause
No,
is it the-
no. COVID was in 2020. The band started like
Like a year before. Or
a
technically,
year or two.
technically 20. I mean, was it 2018 or 2019? Because I think it was 19, right? Or,
I'm guessing 2018.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Pooja formed it was a trio of other folks before.
Right.
And then like second semester I joined. And
then
then
it
that's
goes
when
up
we
to,
kind of
like,
became
5
that's
people.
what- it was 4 because it was 3 people before, and then this is like the original
Yeah. In college, we went through so many iterations because people
Got
would
it.
graduate and then we'd add another band member. But
And it was even
this
originally
is-
called Howl Zero. Like that was the
Yeah,
first
oh,
name
yeah,
of the band.
Whoa.
Yes, it was called Howl Zero because that was the name of my freshman dorm basement, and
Yeah.
we used to make music in our basement. Yeah, it's crazy that you know that. There are very few people on this planet who know that. So-
Gosh,
I
so
told you I would
funny.
have a few. That was
Yeah.
And the basement actually doesn't even exist anymore. It's
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah. If we tell future generations, they'd be like, what?
yeah, right. What are you talking about? A basement? It doesn't have
Yeah.
any.
Yeah, colleges love to build new things. Tragically.
And so we'll get back to the COVID story. We can do that later on because I think it's a fun story, but it kind of doesn't have to do with the music here. But so you're at Georgia Tech. We mentioned that before, and you're all engineering students.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that obviously, what's funny is I have 3 children. One is an engineer, and the other 2 are in animation. And so some people will say to me, "Oh, 2 in art and 1 in just math and science." I'm like, "Hang on, engineering, very creative world." So it is math and science, but it is still a very creative thing. And so people may misconnect that, thinking there wouldn't be a connection there. But I imagine your engineering training and skills probably serve you very well, both in songwriting, but also just in the sound of sound engineering even.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very picky.
But I even remembered reading something about Noah. I think you invented or built your own in-ear monitors,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
that you
I
didn't
built-
get kicked out of an apartment or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness. Wow. What? Yes. So we had a show, and so for most people who might not know, who might be listening, when artists are playing on stage, they have a big speaker in front of them that allows them to hear themselves.
Right.
But it can be very loud, which is really damaging to your hearing. And also, you are relying on whoever's in the venue to make sure the mix is right, that I can hear Pooja most and I can hear myself and everything like that. And so I decided that I really wanted to protect my hearing and our hearing, and also there were all these other kind of things I wanted to do. But I made an in-ear monitoring system. So now on stage we wear in-ears. We have, sometimes if we're playing to like tracks or to a click, we have like a click in our ears. My system can also like record stems of our whole show, so we can like mix it later. You know, it has the snare mic separate from Pooja's mic, from everything else. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff it can do, but I won't bore you. But
that's awesome. Actually, we have whole episodes called Behind the Sound, and we actually
Great.
go into like the effects pedals, the monitor, everything as to what would go into creating the sound of the unique sound of that band. So maybe we'll have to do one of those episodes with Koyal.
Anytime. I love yammering about this stuff.
Yes, no, we have lots of people who are like, why didn't you got nerdy, but then you stopped. Keep getting nerdy. Get in the weeds on that stuff. So we started doing it on purpose, and people do love it. So absolutely, no, I appreciate you going into that. Yeah. But on the point of the engineering, is there also ways, like, I just have a thought that it would probably help you out in songwriting as well. Like, has there been ever like a scientific approach to the songwriting that helped you out or held you back?
Well, I will say that when we're trying to pick a tone or a sound, we will take as long as it needs. We will play with all the settings, and it might take us 30 minutes or an hour. Whoever's sitting on the couch has to be very patient. But once we find the right song or the right sound, that tells you where the song is going to go.
Sure.
So we really trust in that process and trust in taking the time needed.
Yeah, and along with sound design, you know, working with synths and stuff. Oh goodness, buddy, careful. He just jumped to the floor. When you're working with synths and stuff.
No, for people who are listening.
Oh, for people who are listening on the podcast, Squash, our gecko, just jumped out of my arm and onto the floor.
Your ever-loving arms.
Yeah.
But now he's going for a climb.
And now he's going for, this is where he likes to be.
Fantastic.
So when you're working with synths and stuff, these sound waves, like I took some music tech classes and understanding, and with the physics classes, understanding how sound waves work really does help on the sound design side every now and then, understanding like what oscillation is and how these different things work. And I also was in a few hackathons where we hacked some synth stuff together, which was really fun. So all of that experience, it was really cool. Sponsored by Moog at Georgia Tech. I think they recently stopped it. But we hacked some stuff together.
It was too cool an idea. They had to stop that.
Yeah, exactly. So all that stuff informs when I'm building things or when we're creating sound, for sure.
Awesome. That's very cool. And I always like to bring in kind of music here and there so that we can always kind of share it, because I think it's such a different song than the one we shared off the top, which was that like anthemic kind of dancey rock song. The one I wanted to bring in here to kind of show the diversity is the Bummer song. And then Wallace, I understand this kind of got inspired by an experience you had.
Yeah, it was about, so the song's called Bummer Song, and it was after I was inspired right after a bummer I had. I failed this assignment. I was so mad about it. It was so stupid. It didn't even matter really. But I don't know. I was really sad about it for like a few minutes, and I was like, dang, like, am I either gonna be like really sad for like the next day, or I'm gonna like write a song about it? And I was like, if I write a song, like I started writing all these like really, really like emotionally like charged negative lyrics. It was so dramatic, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is not that serious. So like, what if I write something that's like kind of funny and kind of like laughing at like these like inconveniences that don't matter that much? And so that was Bummer Song. It was like, what are the things that like don't really matter but like are really frustrating? And so like, I wrote down like when you step on like water in your socks and your socks get wet, like that's like that sucks.
Yes.
Or like,
and the video is also, it shows your comedy as well and how much fun you all have,
it's
playing
basically
together,
like every bummer is visualized. Like,
yes.
You get taxes in the mail, like that sucks, or like anything like that. It's all there visually in the video. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, let's take a listen to it, and then a little bit in, I'll take it down. You can maybe provide some more commentary on it. But check out Bummer Song by Koyal.
Bummer Song.
Feeling a little blue on your Monday? Welcome to KOYAL. This is the Bummer Song.
Sunsets at 5:15. Some of my friends are sad. Woke up from the American dream, but I'm still sleeping in. Closest bus stop is miles away. I didn't drink water yesterday. My succulent died last week, and that sucks. But if I had to do it without you, I wouldn't know what the hell I'd do. But if I had to do it without you, I wouldn't know what the hell I'd do. Without you here, never know. Winter, spring, fall, and summer. Without you, life would be a bummer.
Again, it's just so fun. You're clearly having an amazing time.
Oh, we had such a blast. We were in New York filming this with my longtime friend, childhood friend, Will Rowan, who directed it. Oh gosh, we had so much fun.
And that is a massive bummer when you have the wet socks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, like from before, like what we were saying is so different from the other one. So that's another thing that I love about a band is when it's not so one-noted. It's like, you know, you can really enjoy the tracks and there's, you know, heavier songs and dancier songs and quieter songs. And again, we're going to play Half Alive later. It's just such a completely third different version of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of hits the different sides of the same coin of like the different emotional aspects of the general theme we were talking about earlier. But
Totally.
yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you there. But yeah, whatever you said.
No, I was going to go on to a slightly different topic. It's funny. If you saw me scribbling, I had a question like, as you were talking earlier, and it might speak to here too. There is a beautiful element to the engineering of the sound. So like the production value is very high, which can then be difficult to create live. But you all do it there too. But some people, like you hear this extremely well engineered, you know, track on an album, and then you go see them live and it falls flat. And to me, that's like, okay, some people are just, they don't care about the live performance. They just want the good music. I'm one that needs both because that's what I'm paying to listen to. And then the live was where it kind of takes it even up a notch, which is true of you all. How do you kind of ensure that to happen? Like, how does that make sure, like, it's a lot of pressure on you all and a lot of making sure that the technology is there to kind of get it to be that sound. But how do you achieve it? Or even if you maybe want to keep a few secrets, but
the first thing that comes to mind is I think there's sometimes like a stigma around using tracks live.
Yeah.
Like because it can sound too much like the record and not live enough, right?
Right.
So I think when we design our live set, we try and have really a good balance and change up our arrangements. Like we really rethink our entire show, our entire album, and our every single song to say like to think about like, well, what if we just added in a drum solo there, or guitar solo here, or like maybe this is a good place for us to just jam for a bit. And
and like some tracks will be kind of short, like 2.5 minutes. It's like people want something to dance to. Like you don't want to dance for a minute and then stop dancing. You know, you want to you want to put yourself in the audience's shoes. Like if I went to a show, what do I want to hear? What do I want to see? What do I want to feel as I'm watching? It's a whole different kind of question to answer from like a streaming perspective versus like a live perspective. So it's kind of fun to think like what's missing here for the live thing, and then fill it in.
and to curate the tracks, like to kind of tell a story and so on. Like it's so cool to hear when an artist like puts so much thought and care into that. Like so that's very neat to learn more about that. So the actually, do you want to play live or do you want to go somewhere like in a deeper topic? Which do you want to do first?
Probably do a deep topic. I don't know. I
don't know. Bummer Song kind of feels like we could like play this live right now. We could, and then we could dive in.
What? You want to do a Bummer song?
No. I just mean like the vibe of the song we're gonna play.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's cool.
Okay, then let's have you perform, and then I've got a deeper topic to share that I wanted to get your takes on. But yeah, cool.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to let you have the full screen here. I'm so honored that you're going to play an unreleased track. So this is so cool. So anything you want to share about the inspiration behind the song? And look at this, we've got guitars and drums happening. But yeah, and take it away.
Yeah, so this next song is called Iris in the Sun. It's an unreleased track. It might be out in 1 year or 2 years. We don't know. But it's a really cute song, and it's about falling in love after you think it's not possible to fall in love again. It was a flicker all of a sudden in the corner of your eyes. I was hoping, did it reckon you delay what's inside? Forgot to mention my intentions, wanna spoil the surprise. Little do you know, I'm used to being alone. You got me listening to some music, and I'm falling apart, my dear.
You got me listening to Keith Sweat. I was feeling kinda over it. All the loves that I've been through. There's something different about you. It's like you see straight through me. A scene from a black and white movie. But it's all just for fun. I'm just an iris in the sun.
Little do you know, I'm used to being alone. You got me listening to some music, and I'm falling apart, my dear. You got me listening to some music, and I'm falling apart, my dear. I'm just a nurse in the sun, glowing in what comes, love after love. Set afire, I'm on the run, glowing in what's done. Say it's just begun. Yay!
That's awesome. I got fooled there during the breakdown. I almost started clapping.
Yeah.
But that's built out of actually COVID, because I know so many musicians were performing to no audience response that I'm always like, I gotta get clapping. So they get
Nice.
yeah. But thank goodness I didn't, kind of like overstep there, because it was a beautiful ending to that song.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for performing.
Yeah, of course.
So I did have a deeper topic, because again, I come across these things, and I never wanted to be a show that steered clear of the deeper topics. So we're going to dive in the deep end, and please feel free to share what you'd like. But Pooja, I had read somewhere that you were told at some point that the front of stage or the performance of things was not for brown people. And
Yeah.
it's just something that I feel is something that I think is a blind spot for people, that they think either that doesn't happen or it doesn't happen anymore. And I just always want to make sure that people know this is garbage that happens, and we need to make sure that we raise awareness on it so that we can do whatever we need to get it to stop happening. So anything you'd be comfortable sharing there, I just wanted to kind of highlight that.
Yeah. Back in high school, I was really into theater, and I kept auditioning for play after play after play. And I can't speak on how good or bad of an actress I might be. I'm not sure. But after auditioning,
We can speak to how great your voice is, so let's just go with that for now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But after auditioning about 10 or so times, the casting director came up to me, and she is so sweet, and she's someone that I still look up to. So it's just a little sad how sometimes internalized racism
Sure.
can be within you, even if you think you're not racist.
Right,
But she thought she had the best intentions in mind, and she came up to me and she said, hey, Pooja, I've noticed you've been working really hard. You audition for all these parts. You'll also help with all the tech setup, and you're putting in your hours here, but we just don't have any parts for brown people. So I would advise that you stop auditioning and stop wasting your time and maybe try something else.
Wow.
And that was really hard to take when you're 16,
Sure.
hearing it from someone that you really look up to. And then I decided to put my time into something else, whatever it was at the time. I think it was writing. Yeah, I was writing plays and poetry, and I stopped auditioning for roles. But a couple years later, when I was starting the band, it was maybe a similar situation where we weren't getting opportunities or such, and you were just hearing whispers that it was because you don't see brown people on stage. Like, people just don't know where to place you. They want to put people in boxes. But that just tells me that we have to fight harder and show people that everyone can follow their passion, and everyone can follow their dream, and anyone can be a performer. If you have a story that needs to be told, there are people who can relate and people who will listen. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and there is that kind of like being able to see it. So like if you were also like either let's say you're growing up and it's not there for you to see it, but you're still trying anyway, and then you have a teacher, a mentor tell you it's not your, I mean, it's just, how could anybody persevere and break through? But here you are doing it, and now establishing this for young ladies out there who are now going to think, let's say it the other way, not feel that it's not a place for them. So like, this is where like these are great moments to be celebrated as well. And I just always like to kind of shine a light on that, because it's something that's still happening today. And I think a lot of people think it isn't. And it's like, it's the music's great and the stories are awesome, but like these are real life scenarios that you're carrying that around with you from when you were 16. And it's like, we could work to make sure that this isn't happening anymore. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for touching on that.
I appreciate you asking me that question. And
Absolutely.
it is emotional. Like, we were in, after almost every show, people come up to me and they say, oh my gosh, I've never seen a brown singer on stage in the US. They just haven't seen that.
Yes.
They'll be like, wow, it was so fun seeing your band perform. And in New York, we played a show. It was a So Far Sound show at a distillery. And afterwards, this guy who was Indian came up to me, and he said he's been in the US for like 15 years now. His wife is American and of a different race, and he hasn't been back to India just for one reason or the other. And he felt like just over the years, he'd slowly gotten distanced from his Indian culture, and he was happy here, but he just didn't know where he belonged.
Sure.
And seeing us perform on stage, he hadn't heard the word Koyal in a long time, or he hadn't even seen a Koyal sing in like 15 years. And seeing someone brown sing songs in English just really resonated with him, where he was like, now I feel very American and I'm speaking English all the time and this is my culture. But he didn't know where he fell in that spectrum. And he was like, I relate with this band, which is really beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. And I found that too, is where now that is music he can turn to, maybe having a crappy day, and he can put this on and remember, just how that made him
Yeah.
feel and just pick him back up again. It's just the power of music.
For sure.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. And the other story. So I just think is fascinating. The stories of what you did during COVID, I found, were an interesting conversation for like the first year, and then after that, it got very like, it just was tired, so I stopped asking it. But this is a totally different ballgame because what I understand is you went to India in March of 2020 on like a
Yep.
yoga retreat.
Yeah.
And got like kicked out and picked a cave to live in at one day.
Almost.
Well, you selected one. You just didn't have to live in it.
Yeah.
You had one picked out for yourself.
It was madness. I was on a yoga retreat in Rishikesh, which is the yoga capital of the world. The West knew about Rishikesh when the Beatles started going there for their yearly like meditation trips. And so I went with a couple friends, and a few days in, well, as soon as we landed, the whole world shut down and India closed its borders. But for like a week, India didn't realize how serious COVID was. They were like, oh, things are gonna return to it's
a 2-week thing. We'll be fine.
Yeah. But then a week in, they realized how bad it was, and then they took it 10 times more seriously than anyone else. So they instantly shut down everything. People were not allowed to leave their homes. There were police patrolling everywhere to make sure that people weren't leaving their homes. So this was serious. Cities were barricaded in, like they put fences around cities. Anyway, so I woke up one morning thinking I was on vacation. I go downstairs ready for my like smoothie or whatever. And the people at the hotel walk up to me and they're like, "Hey, we're so sorry, but you have to leave." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly.
Where? And they said, "Well, we have to shut down the hotel, so you have to leave." And they were really apologetic. They felt really bad, but I was in North India. My family speaks South Indian languages, so I can't communicate to anyone. I can't get in touch with anyone. I have nowhere to go. So I'm freaking out. And I go to the river Ganges, which is a really holy river in India. And you might have seen pictures of it looking really bad and polluted, but it starts in the Himalayas. So in Rishikesh, it's very pure. It's so beautiful and pristine and blue, and people drink water from the river straight. It's fine. So I went to the river and I was trying to calm myself down, and I was like, I can figure this out. Like, I can probably learn how to fish. It can't be too hard, right? And then I found a little cave and I found some like brush, and I was like, okay, so I can just like hide in here and fish and life will be fine.
The positive attitude and perseverance in a moment of utter disaster is unbelievable. Like, that's phenomenal.
I mean, if you were in that situation, you might have done the same thing.
I'm sure, but still, like, man, that's admirable. But yes, no, I keep going.
Yeah, so then after 2 hours, I go back to the hotel to get my stuff. And thankfully, we were there with a monk, and the owners of the hotel felt really bad about kicking out a monk and his group. Right. So they were like, it was just 5 of us. And they were like, okay, you can stay here, but in secret. You have to avoid the windows because this hotel is shut down. They locked us in. They said, avoid the windows. The police cannot see you. You will have internet for like an hour a day, but it just wasn't good internet. So I couldn't do any video calls. I barely, like, if an email sent, I was lucky. You know? We had power for a day and or an hour, and internet for an hour. And we had to ration our food because we only had a certain amount of money and we weren't sure when it would run out. The ATMs were closed. So yeah, that was a month before the U.S. Embassy came to rescue me. But it was really cool. I had an entire hotel to myself. So the basement was my songwriting corner. And
was it called Howl Zero?
It was Howl 1, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was bored, I'd run up and down the stairs, and there was a massive bookshelf and I read a ton of books and it was a good time.
Yeah. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So that's why I wanted to make sure you told that story. It's just so, I mean, obviously a lot of people thought they had it bad at the beginning. Like, this is, I picked out a cave near the river Ganges at the base of the Himalaya, which probably would have been beautiful, but still that would have been quite a shift in living style. But man, excellent, excellent job there. And I'm glad you got rescued and made it back. But spinning forward, so we have this brand new music of Koyal's that was released earlier this year. So let me bring up your site and then anything we can help promote. So let's see, share the screen, go to your website. So here we are. So if you want to, I did see there is one show on the tour list.
Yeah.
In San Diego for September.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess I'm got my fingers crossed that some, Northeast, maybe even Philly area shows might show up here at some point.
Oh, they might.
Yeah,
they
maybe.
might. Yeah.
Working on it.
Yeah, excellent. But anything else we can promote as far as let's see, let's jump over to the merch. We always love slinging
always
merch
the
on the
merch.
show.
Oh yeah, we have a album lyric booklet. It's really cute. It has all the lyrics to every song on the album, and I hand drew all the little doodles. So it's very cute.
Cool. Yeah, and some of your doodles also make it into the videos. We can touch on that because I know Half Alive has it. So
Yeah.
Other things to promote, we have been putting out some remixes recently of our music.
Very
And that's
cool.
been really fun. So we have 2 out. One just came out yesterday, a remix of Gasoline, and
Nice.
a remix by a friend of ours, Ellie Trax, and a remix of Intoxicated by another friend of ours in North Carolina named Discal. And every 2 weeks this summer, we're putting out another remix. So stay tuned for that too. There's some really amazing tracks on the way.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And our site is coil.band. It's not .com. So
Yeah.
cool.
That makes us cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so the show here. So I have a similar issue. The show is Your Next Favorite Band, and I had gotten the LLC Stereophilia Studio because the studio was the name and the show was being produced there. And I went and got the URL stereophilia.studio. So same kind of thing. I thought it was really clever. Well, no one could find us. So then we had to also go get nextfaveband.com. But so I know I feel your pain on that one where you always have to remember to point it out because .studio is an extension, and I thought it was awesome, but web traffic says otherwise.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so people should follow your Instagram. Would that be the one you most recommend?
Yeah, please. Our Instagram is @coil.official.
Excellent. And then that will be where they could hear about the releases of the mixes and any type of tour news that comes out, and then obviously any future music. But that's obviously a great follow there.
Our silly little internet videos too. If you want to watch those, they're pretty good.
Yeah, we have some silly internet videos.
Yes, it is a great follow. But yeah, so let's talk about, so before we kind of say goodbye, let's talk about Half Alive, just to kind of set that track up, because what we'll do is do the closing credits, and then we'll bring that song on. But from what I understood, it was, Pooja, you were frustrated by the 9-to-5 work world, and you kind of woke up at 4 a.m. with this kind of in your head?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
So cool. Tell us more.
Well, my days were just long and hard, and I had no creative energy at the end of the day. I was making good money, though. It was nice.
That is a tough balance, but it was squashing your creative, juices, if you will.
My creative spirit, and our passion is making music. So I woke up one morning at 4 a.m. with the song blaring in my head, and wrote the song, and then started wondering, why am I feeling so negatively about my job, and why. So the song, it's kind of like, how they say sometimes, wait, I'm forgetting the phrase, but the words write your life or something like that. It's what Half Alive did. We wrote the song, And then Half Alive ended up making us realize that we wanted to pursue music full time.
Sure.
And so then I quit my job after these guys graduated. We moved out here to LA. And so that song is really important to us because it set us on the track that we are on right now.
Yeah. And it wasn't a giant leap of faith. You were selling out venues in Atlanta. Like, you had success building and brewing, and this music was ready to be released, and you just knew you needed a larger kind of, audience, if you will, to kind of release it to, and all of the other support, like whether it was label or PR or whatever. Like, you knew that there was something brewing there. So I'm so happy you did that, and we were able to connect and talk about all this stuff. And the other thing about Half Alive is it has this beautiful build, so people need to stick with it because it'll just grab. It's just this soars towards the end. It's amazing. So
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Pooja, Noah, Wallace, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks
And
for
Thank
having
you
us,
so
man.
much for having us.
Yeah.
Great questions. Great questions.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see where everything goes, and I can't wait to see you perform live. So looking forward
We'll
to
certainly
all of
let
that.
you know.
Yeah.
We'll get you free
Definitely.
tickets.
Yeah, we'll be in Philly in the future for certain. For certain.
That's certain.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to it. Thank you again.
Thank
See you,
you.
Phil. Thank you.
Yeah.
So there you have alt pop rock trio Koyal, producing some incredible music. And again, you heard the dancey anthem at the beginning. You heard kind of like the funny contemplative song in the middle. You heard them play acoustic, so you could hear the chops there. Brand new, not even brand new, just unreleased music that may come out in the future. And then we're going to close it out with this absolutely emotional ballad. It's just all so good and so powerful, and you're gonna love it. But definitely check out their music, and hopefully give them a follow so that you can make sure you check them out live when they're in your area.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Koyal, Pooja, Noah, and Wallace, the trio known as Koyal, and thank them for allowing us to share their music, dive into their stories, including some stuff in the deeper topics, as well as playing live. I mean, we just always love that here, to be able to provide that to you all, and we're so honored when it's something like somewhat exclusive. Like, that's a song there that you heard that even if you're a Koyal fan, you probably only have heard it out as a show. But now you can have it here, and we do love that. So there'll be links in the show notes to the website, the Instagram handle, the YouTube channel, and all that good stuff. And like we said, they're an excellent follow. They're super funny, and the music is amazing, so you're going to want to dive into all of that and make them your next favorite band. As always, our hope here is to bring you your next favorite band. However, if you tuned in tonight because you already knew Koyal, thank you so much. We hope that you like what you heard and what you saw, so that you might consider giving us a subscribe or a like or a follow, so that we can bring you your next favorite band in a coming week. Or your next favorite band might already be out there. We've got over 170 episodes on nextfaveband.com, and you can check them all out. They're available on demand, both the video and the audio versions. If you need any help with that, and you kind of want us to guide you, just drop us a note, and we'd love to kind of help steer you in the right direction of where your next favorite band might be. Coming up, we've got lots of Music Fest content, so definitely follow us for all of that. We hope to see you at a live show soon. And stay tuned for one more track from Koyal. Here's the one we just spent a bunch of time giving its flowers. Here's Half Alive by Koyal.
It's so hard to be here. Slow me down and calmness. Lay your arms upon your chest and breathe. Set me down, stuck in a mirror. No escape, just face to face. The hardest place is standing still, where I'm meant to be. I know that I've grown, but have I misplaced myself? Drifting in unknown, can't remember last time I felt There's something